All right, so we're hopping back onto Joppa summons today. We're going to take a look, if you weren't here at the beginning, we're going to take a little bit of a look at some of the work that was able to get done last night, and got a little bit of time in between meetings today to make some more progress, and we can kind of take a look at where we're at. So yesterday, I had just started showing off the pet functionality for the summoner. Was just starting to get some of the summoner abilities in place for the summoner and the pet as well. And today we've made some progress on that. So one of the things that we can talk about is the way that we've set up the pet system. So as has been asked on a couple of different occasions, different people will ask like, hey, so when you set up an ability for this or that or the other, do you set it up in a way where it can be like reused by other classes? So essentially, like, are you making sure that how you set things up is done in a way that you can, take advantage of that for the next thing? And the answer is obviously always, well, I shouldn't say obviously. The answer is always yes, absolutely. But I want to show off a little bit of what we mean by that, a specific example today. So I'm going to go ahead and get I actually have all four, so the Titan, the Undine, the Zephyr, and the Fury, all four represented here. Just starting to work on the abilities for the water, the air, and the fire Archimentals today. But it's nice having them in and in play at least, having that process started. But I'll go ahead and start getting the Titan out. So here's our Titan. You can see here that on the Titan nameplate, I've got two abilities: Mighty Slam, the Titan slams target dealing physical damage, and Grapple. The Titan grabs hold of the target, forcing them to attack the Titan for 3 seconds, generating increased threat for that duration. So this is the equivalent of the Titan's taunt, and then one of the Titan's attack abilities. If I right-click, you can see this little green dot in the upper left corner will turn off. That means that I don't want these to cycle automatically. That means I want these to be manually activated only. So I have control as the summoner over what abilities out of the entire arsenal that it has is it using on cooldown, and which abilities do I want to use manually. But the cool thing that I want to show you is, in setting up the pet system, as Steve and I were working through it, the way that he set it up was actually to accommodate multiple pets at once, which is really important, not only for the mechanics with the water Archimental and the other elementals, Archimentals, but also when we get into things like Necromancer and others where we're going to have multi-pet situations, we actually have support, for, I don't know, however many pets we want out at a time, really. And the really cool thing about the code that's governing the pets is they do a really good job of kind of staying in formation and moving along with things as we go. So one of the reasons why we waited so long to get into the pet stuff is, we talked about how with the networking stuff, we wanted to make sure that the networking layer was going to be strong enough and capable enough of, the throughput needed for all of these additional entities. And it gets even cooler from there, because one of the things that you can do is, you see how these all have blue outlines. If I single click on any one of them, I'm actually able to choose which one or how many I have selected. So if I want to give a command to all four of these to say, hey, stay, I want you guys to all stay right here, I can issue that command and they'll stay put. If I want one of them to follow me, then I can say, okay, I want the fire elemental to follow me, so come with me. And, I had them both. Whoops. Let me, that was user error. Let me get back over here. All right, Titan, you stay put, and then fire Archimental, you come with me. So I can issue specific commands to specific pets to do specific things. Obviously, this is, very much point and click right now. We want to get to the point where we can do these things through hotkeys and whatnot. But that's not just for movement. So, if I want to get all these now kind of follow me again, I can do that. But then I can also, have, out of all of them while they're following me, I can only have one of them. Let's say I just wanted, well, I don't have them all on Let me do this. So if I go through and I put them all on stay and back off, but then I keep the Titan with me, then I should be able to, technically, I should be able to tell the Titan to attack this target, and he'll do it on his own. And even if I attack the target too, they're not going to respond because they've been told to stay put and to stop doing things. So yeah, this is an example where, you know, getting the pet system in place and building it out in a way where, whether it's skeletons, whether it's, you know, specters and zombies, whether it's the Archimentals, you know, the plan with the Archimentals is only ever to have 2 at a time, because the Archimental pets are so powerful and they're persistent, and having 4 at a time would be pretty insane. But you know, and I can dismiss them, you know, 1 at a time too, and there's just a lot of customizability there. So it's really cool how that works, how it sets up. Oh, can I move my pet window? Yes, I can. Let me move this up right there. Let's bring these out and just make sure, like, the whole pet window is connected. So let's see, stick all your pets on different mining nodes. That's funny. Yeah, just to repeat that disclaimer. So like these elementals, these are not in-house. These are Unity assets. These are what we're using just temporarily. We do like them though. And, you know, we're not necessarily above using things that we like and work relatively well for the time being. So even though we do have plans for in-house elementals with like particle effects and some other cool stuff going on, I think these work pretty darn well for now. Monkey Pit art, but do we like them? I like them. You may not like them, but I do. I know you probably don't. That's Bronson, by the way. Monkey Pit art is Bronson. By the way, Bronson is planning on starting to do a stream of his own as well for Pantheon art-related stuff, which is going to be really cool. I know a lot of you have been excited to see that. So if you haven't yet, follow Monkey Pit art so you can see. I don't know if you're ready to start or when you're going to be starting to do that, Bronson, but that's his channel. But are you here, Bronson, specifically in asking the passive-aggressive question, but do we like them, as a way of you stating that you do not? Is that what I'm hearing? Summon 4 pets and have them form into one giant pet like the Power Rangers do. Oh, you are here to ask that question, but it wasn't passive-aggressive. You were meaning for it to be very aggressive. Very aggressively. Gotcha. Okay. Black Fox 250, I'm showcasing the pet system and how the pet system can support multiple pets at once. The summoner cannot have 4 pets at a time. The summoner can have at most 2, and that's something that they have to grow into. And in particular, the summoner can only have the water Archimental plus 1 other type. It's only the water Archimental is the only one that can uniquely be out at all times, while other Archimentals are out. Yep. So I'll go ahead and make it that way just for clarity's sake. Why was Water 1 picked to assist the other pets? The Water 1 was picked because it is the support, kind of the support-oriented Archimental. So it does, you know, a lot of things to buff, heal, and kind of protect the other Archimentals when you have them in tandem like that. And then there's some unique things that the Water Archimental can do based on the other Archimental that it's interacting with. Yeah. So if, for example, if I want to, let's go ahead and tell the Water Archimental to back off and stay put. Let's take a look at some of what the Titan is doing now. So, we're still, part of the pet system that we need to do is have pets. We still need to do the level syncing that I talked about yesterday. Hey, look at 82 with the sub. Thank you so much. With the 6-month sub. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Really appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Oh, sorry. I was reading Bronson's message. One of the things we still need to do, there's a few things we still need to do as we're working on getting the summoner fully up to speed, but the level syncing with the pet and the player is one of the things that we still need to do. So I've got kind of a workaround right now to allow myself to summon kind of higher tier pets. Right now, this Titan's level 4, and the Titan has, as I was saying earlier, the Mighty Slam ability and the Grapple ability, which is essentially its taunt. And what I showed earlier is that by right-clicking these abilities to where it has that kind of green little light up in the top left corner, if that light's on, that means that the abilities are set to automatically be used by the Archimental every on cooldown, essentially. If I want to use them manually, if I want to decide when those are used, then I can, just click on it myself like that, and boom, the Titan goes into action mode. I see the individual cooldown on the abilities there, but I can control when it's used. So the same thing here. If I want to fight this, I can just tell the Titan to do its thing with it. Wait. It's on cooldown? There we go. Maybe that cooldown sync isn't quite where it needs to be. But then I can also just right-click it, and then at that point, I know that it's going to do what it needs to do whenever it can. Oh, I lost my pet attack macro. One sec. So yeah, it's using these things on cooldown now. Oop, there it goes. Nice. Let's find something a little bit beefier. Now, in a situation like that, where that's part of what we want to do is improve, and part of what we need to do overall anyway is continue to improve even the way that NPCs are using their abilities and kind of the timing of that. That's something that I would like for us to continue to improve. But in that situation, if I, put my pet on it and he wasn't using the abilities right away, then I was completely free there to say, hey, boom, click. Use this. He's got that thing nicely taunted. Now, let me actually go ahead and dismiss the Titan. And this is the next tier. Like I was saying before, I'll set my level to like 8. And go ahead and summon the next tier of Titan here. There we go. So he's level 5, but he does now, you can see with this next tier of Titan, he does have this new ability, Shifting Stones, and this is the Titan roots the target to the ground with powerful vines. So this is actually a root ability that the Titan has, which, whether you leave that on and, always have it firing on cooldown, or whether you use it strategically, because remember, these things will have not only will they have resource cost eventually, so you'll need to kind of monitor how much resource your pet has. And if you've got everything on just auto fire, then your pet's going to run out of resource and not be able to do something when you really want it to. But also because something like root is a little bit more situational, and you don't necessarily want every NPC rooted. Let me see if I can get a level 8 Titan here. Let me set my level up to 9. Because he needs to be level 8 actually to use that root. Not quite. You're closer. This is exactly what I was saying yesterday. You won't have to do once we get level syncing working. No, you're going backwards now. Switch 2, thanks for the follow. Thanks for being here. Chris Frozen says, selfish question. Will we as a summoner have Archimental form ourselves? Just remembering air form in EQ. Potentially. Whether that is going to be a form you can take on as a summoner yourself, or whether that's going to be something that an enchanter can cast is TBD. Would there be any reason not to have 2 pets out at once you gain the ability? Yeah, I mean, 2 pets is more to manage. It's definitely more to manage. And if you're in a situation in a group where, you know, you have a dedicated healer and you're needing heal attention and support attention on your pet, then you may not need to have the water Archimental out. But it also depends on some of that synergy. And I think summoners, as they become more experienced and more kind of used to how the class functions, will probably want to have 2 out at once just for some of those synergistic abilities that they can do. Crushed Velvet XX says, Joppa, remember Thurgist from DAOC? Chain casting pets that were short duration lifespan should be a cool spell nuke mechanic for summoner instead of firebolts, a bunch of mini pets acting as the projectiles, etc. Stoked to test summoner, nice. Magician was first EQ care. It was my first EQ character too, like up till level like 2 before I made my paladin, but Magician was the one that like caught my imagination when I was first starting to read about EQ before it came out, so that's cool. Just catching up with chat here. Climbing with pets. Yeah, let's test it out and see. I'm not expecting like great results right now. I think the pet's probably going to get very confused, but we'll see. We're doing it live. So now what I would want to happen in this situation is I would want the pet to stay put. I don't want the pet running around like a maniac trying to figure out how to get up, because we all know how that would end up. But I'd like, while the player's in the climbing state, while the pet master's in the climbing state, I'd like for the pet to stay put. As soon as I'm out of the climbing state, I would want that pet just to kind of lerp right to my location. Will you ever make your way up to me? What are you gonna do? What's the plan, Loker? And possibly giving the summoner like kind of a manual call would be something we can look into as well. Let's head back. I do love that we've got it where the little group arrow window applies to your pets as well, so you can kind of get a sense of where they're at in case they Hello, friend. I'm coming. Don't fret. You look agitated and concerned. There we go. Now, are you good? You good? Okay, he's good. All right, let's keep going with our summoning roulette here. Run like the wind and gather all the ads. Yes. Yes, Loker, run! Come on now. Don't you guys miss this? Especially when you're using like a regen every time. Now, 7, I know 7 is not the highest level that you can reach. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to... Let's see. I'm just going to force these to be at the top of their range. Let's go ahead and dismiss you guys. Dortorn says, this might be out of the realm of possibility, but what are your thoughts on using AI like ChatGPT as quest giver NPCs or NPCs in general? I don't think you'll see us using them as quest NPCs, like actually having ChatGPT powered NPCs. I think ChatGPT and solutions like that are super helpful in kind of like aiding with like writing prompts and helping us, you know, chew through a lot of the dialogue that needs to be created or at least edited and whatnot. There's a lot of like help and tools that are super helpful for that kind of stuff, but I don't think you'll ever see us like just fully delegate and relegate that over to something like a chatbot, an AI bot, like a language model bot. You volunteer as tribute to help with dialogue over ChatGPT, yeah. Yeah, we definitely want to avoid that kind of like AI language model air to things. Because it does still have an air. Alright, let's see. There we go. Cool, so he's level 8. Now all of my... This one's no longer grayed out, his shifting stones. So... Now, if I want you to stay, will you still root? Do you have... Wait. Do you have to be in combat with this? Follow me. Root. Come back. Back off. Let's try that again. Refresh. Does a refresh work on you too, bud? No, it does not. Does it? No. All right, we're going to try that again. And this time, the goal is going to be to root this thing. And what is this? Control 2. So if you root right there. Follow. Oh. Follow route. Nice. Okay, I don't want that on auto. So now do your thing. Oh yeah, do your thing. You can attack now. It's okay. Remember, this pet's level 8, so... He's taunting nicely. Very good.